Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome. How is everyone today? I hope you are all doing well. We are going to have a little crystal chat today, cleansing and clearing here. The crystal culture right now is a lot of changes in the crystal world, I've noticed, and let's just see if any of you've noticed as well. So I'll give you a few moments to come on in. Come on in and join the discussion. And let me know if you can hear me when you come in. I have a little friend here bothering me. So welcome, 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 everyone. Come on in. Let's talk crystals. I have a couple crystals that I'm going to pull out of the Crystal 101 book, Powerhouse Crystals, that we're going to discuss. We haven't talked about that in quite some time. And I also will pull a card at the end from the Namaste deck for a group message. But hi, Leslie. How are you? Rachel, sounding good. Thank you. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. Bailey, hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. Please share this along. Hey, Janice, welcome. Welcome, Leslie. Welcome, Shelley. Welcome, welcome, everyone. So we're talking about the culture of crystals right now. Hi, Shelley. Welcome. Just some things that I've heard recently, and I wanted to know if you've heard these things, and the changes that with the crystal awareness this past year has really increased, I think. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Please share this along to others. Hi, Lori. Welcome. So I have heard... I'll talk about some specific crystals here in just a few minutes, but I have heard a lot of, I don't know if they're rumors, I don't know if they're true, that certain crystals are harder to obtain because in certain regions there's things going on. Like I've heard in Mexico, welcome everybody, come on in. I'm just, sorry, excuse me. My voice is already starting. It's because I'm outside and it's cold. So I hope it lasts the duration. Sorry. Okay. So I've heard a lot of different things, and I'm curious to know if you've heard these things as well. And let's just talk about it and see if you've noticed some crystal changes this past year. I've heard in Mexico that the cartel is taking over the mines, and so that is going to make it harder for some crystals to be obtained. It might drive the price up higher, I'm not sure. I've heard that in Brazil the government is taking over the mines. Although I did contact one of my Brazil miner friends, and he said he had not heard that, but Brazil's such a large country that he can't speak for the whole country, but... he said he's not in any restrictions right now as far as, government complete takeover. So I find it interesting that all these things are coming out right now, all these different different rumors, I guess. I don't know. Have you heard of, anybody here have heard of any rumors of certain crystals getting harder to find and some of them going up in value? Now, I have a lot of theory on this too, because I have experienced some crystals in my own purchasing that it's very hard for me to find and purchase anymore. And one of them is green opal from Madagascar. And I feel like, in a sense, that this could be because this has become so widely popular this past year. So many people started to use it this past year. Before, it was very little awareness of it, I believe. There was very little information. Matter of fact, there's very little printed information on the green opal itself that I can't I can't find. I have found some internet searches on it, of course, but actual printed references, no. And our community and our culture here, our group, has learned so much about it just by using it. And I wonder if that's part of the reason why I can't obtain it like I used to. It's very difficult to obtain these. A year ago, I could just buy as much as I wanted. This past year, I've been on wait lists and back order lists for months and months and months and months. So I wonder if the world is catching on to the green opal craze. I'm not sure. If they're starting, more people are starting to use it for their healing benefits. I'm not sure. There's some other things that are going around, some other thoughts and some other rumors. I don't know. I don't have any proof that some of the mines are closing or closed. And when that happens also, that can, of course, halt production. It can drive the price up because it's harder to get. It can be more rare because it's mined out. Now I've heard, I don't know if this is true again, I've heard it several times that the ocean jasper mine is mined out. And this is also from Madagascar. And it's just one location in Madagascar that I'm aware of. And if it's true, they might have been mined out. Maybe they've mined as much as they came across. Maybe there's another pocket in there they'll eventually find. I don't know if that's true. I've not had the trouble obtaining the ocean jasper as much as the green opal. But I don't know. Has anybody heard that? Has anybody heard that in our group that some of these mines are closing or are closed? I've also heard that the Larimar mine, oh geez, my phone just went off. I've also heard that the Larimar mine in the Dominican Republic has been closed because of the hurricane. I think it was 2 years ago. They were affected. And I don't know if they're reopened. I'm not sure if they're in production again, but I have heard that that might affect this price going up again as well. This, of course, is already an expensive crystal to begin with. And with the mines being mined out, that will probably drive up the price because it'll be more rare, harder to get, harder to find. I'm not sure. Have you heard of anything like that either? And some mines are very dangerous. Some mines are very, very dangerous to mine certain things. And that might be part of this as well. I'll look at your comments here in just a second. But I know bumblebee jasper is very, very, very dangerous to mine, and that is very expensive. And I believe that's part of the reason of the cost, because it's very hard to mine. It's very dangerous for the miners to mine. And I don't think they have very many regulations as far as safety for miners for that kind of thing. So the bumblebee jasper is very expensive. And that could have something to do with it as well. Now, here's a Veracruz amethyst. I have not been able to obtain these at a decent price in a very long time, and that could be because of the changes in Mexico. I don't know if I have something that can show you the actual beautiful light. It's a light amethyst color. But I have heard that if the cartels are taking over the mines of the Veracruz mines, and if that's true, then it would be harder to get and probably more expensive if they're trying to control all this. I don't know. Also, pyrite is becoming very, very, very popular, and I think that's driving up the price as well. I find it very interesting in our culture that crystals are... I'm going to ask this question, and I want to know what you think. When I first started crystals, people thought, "Ooh, what are you doing? It's kind of, no. This past year, it seems like crystals have had such a huge, widespread, more awareness of being more than just a pretty little object, and more accepted in our culture as something to use as an alternative means of healing. Do you feel that way? Do you feel that crystal awareness has really changed this past year? Do you feel there's more awareness? Do you feel it's more accepted? Do you feel it's more okay, you know, in a sense, because a lot of people would criticize? So let me catch up with some of your comments here while you answer that question, and then we'll take it from there. So, yes, the green opal feels wonderful, wonderful. Haven't heard anything, Leslie? Okay. Mother Earth, we send you healing love. Absolutely. There's a crystal I'm going to talk about that's very connected to Earth healing. That's correct, Cindy. You've heard that as well about the ocean jasper, that it's mined out. That's very interesting because I've heard a lot of this talk about ocean jasper recently, and it caught my attention. So I find that very, very interesting. Right now, a lot of these are reasonable priced, I feel. You can get a lot of what I'm talking about, these ones right now, rather reasonable priced. But in the future, you might not be able to. Good morning, Debbie. Melanie, welcome. Karen, do you know why penacite is so expensive? I'm not too familiar with that one. And it could be, is it more of a rare crystal? The more rare the crystal, the more expensive it is. The harder it is to find or mine. Again, if it's mined out, if it's only in certain regions of the world, that's not one that I'm particularly familiar with. I find it very interesting about the green opal, Cindy, because that one I have personally ran into very difficulty trying to obtain more for my sale show. And I've been on wait lists for like 6 months or longer. So I feel like the green opal is either getting a huge awareness and many people are just buying it up, or it might be in that same cycle of being mined out. And I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Today we're talking about crystal culture, Lorianne, and I've got 2 crystals I'm going to talk specifically about in a few moments. Yes, Melissa, they are part of the shift that society is going through. We are going through a huge shift, a huge awareness shift, and I think that is part of it. And I'm glad that there's more awareness of alternative means, and not just crystals, but it seems like the oils went through their phase of going through the awareness, and now they're kind of much more mainstream, and the crystals are following suit behind them, and I think they'll catch up. So yes, a lot of yeses. Turkasha, yes, at first I thought I had to hide out, but now people are asking questions about it. Yeah, that's how I felt when I first got into crystals, and there was a lot of people that were like, what are you doing? What are you know, that's not right, or just a lot of criticism about it. And now there are so many people that are curious about crystal energy and trying it, because I think a lot of it too is because a lot of times modern medicine has failed so many people. Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. But I feel it's true. We are in this huge shift of awareness of a lot of things, and I think each year it's going to amplify and amplify. The more and more things are going to come about, and more things are going to open up to us and be available to us, and more people will gravitate towards that. So, yes, people are loving them, Shelley. That's great. Yes, people are looking for healing in different ways. Yeah. Can't say as much of awareness as kind of a newlywed thing. Yes, Dawn, I can see that as well. Facebook has helped promoting crystals. I have seen a huge change in crystals since I had my little shop till the point of right now. Not just selling them, that's been a huge change too, because there's so many people gravitating to purchase crystals for various reasons. So much more so this past year than I've ever seen. But it seems like there's so many people that are really wanting to use it in their healing practices for themselves or their clients, or just in their space, you know, their own space too. Yeah, it seems to be more widely accepted. I agree, Leslie. Yeah. will be skyrocketing. They will be skyrocketing. Now that brings on another thing that I wanted to bring in this too, is I believe some crystals already are very expensive and will continue to go up in price, depending on how it is that they're mined. If they're mined out, the more rare that they are. I have this feeling, this deep feeling inside that the crystal energy awareness and sales of them will continue to rise, and then we'll hit a plateau and it might drop a little bit. But I believe crystals will hold their value, especially those ones that are no longer available. So think, someday ocean jasper might not be available at all. Hold on to your crystals that are being mined out. Hold on to your crystals that are harder to get. Even if you don't use them, they, I believe, will maintain their value or go up in value. So eventually, if you do decide to sell them, or if you sell them now, at least sell them for what you paid for it or more, and get your money's worth out of it, because I feel that they really will go up in value. When all this will happen, I don't know about that either. But I feel that this is the future, kind of like other precious type minerals, gold, silver, that kind of thing. Maybe not to that extreme, but I feel that it's going to kind of follow in that way. Very interesting, though. Very, very interesting. That's true, Carol. Yes, craft stores. I've seen crystals in craft stores myself. I have seen crystals in like home goods. I think there's a couple big name box stores also that sell crystals. They're coming into it because they're noticing that people will buy them. Those big box stores are not concerned with your health or well-being, I don't think. They're concerned with making their profit. But they're noticing the awareness of it, which is something to keep an eye on. QVC has started selling crystals, I think for the first time, except for in jewelry, actual crystals, crystal points, this last year. That was like, whoa, that's crazy. But they caught on as well. They saw it. They saw the change. They hopped on the bandwagon. And it's part of this whole thing, this whole culture of the crystal awareness and changes in it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm not trying to tell you this because my prices are going up, because they're not. Not as long as I can keep prices the way I do. I just want you to be aware of what's happening, what could be happening. So if you see something that you see it at a reasonable price, you might want to get it and just hang on to it. If it's something that's calling to you, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what's going to happen in the future with all of these. And I know a lot of you have built big collections, great collections, and if you use a crystal for a while and you no longer feel like you need it, maybe just store it away. Or if you're going to sell it at a decent price. Just don't throw it away or give it away at nothing, you know. And if you want to give it as a gift, of course, that's fine too. But you know what I mean. Don't just discount the value of what you have put into it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Naisha, this makes one think of oneself. The earth is being mined for these beautiful crystals, sharing her blessed energy. So with us, must search the beauty within us and share with others. That's a beautiful statement. I love how you said that. So beautiful, yes. That is beautiful. I believe that crystals are coming about for our own healing and our own evolution of our spiritual journeys. I think it's part of it, and I think this is part of the whole grand plan. It's like a timeline, and I think the time is now. More awareness of what you can do to facilitate your own self-healing and your own happiness and your own well-being and your own path, all of those things. And having these kind of energies in your space help us do that. Carol, it's almost like a fad or a craze. That's why I think it's going to continue up for a while, and then I think it will level or maybe drop. I don't think it will ever completely dive down. If it does, I don't think it will be quite some time. I think it will reach a plateau. But again, I'm just not sure. That's kind of the feeling I have right now. Of course, that might change. We might see some huge changes this coming year, too. Excuse me, sorry. That we might have to reevaluate this whole thought process with the crystals, you know. So, yes, and there are a lot of fakes going out there too, and I think that's because there's so much awareness right now. There's so many people buying and buying and buying. You've got to be careful of the fakes. You've got to be careful of the ones that are trying to take advantage. And if you don't feel right about somebody that you're buying from, listen to that inner guidance. When I go to the big crystal shows, good grief, there's crystals everywhere, and the vendors are from all over the world. And there are times when I don't feel a good connection with the vendor, and I'll just walk away. I might be just just in their space. It might be a first few conversation, a little bit of words. It just might be inner intuition feeling just right off the bat. So those vendors, I just walk away. It's just something that I trust. Always trust your inner guidance. And I don't know, I have not explored as to why these certain vendors that I get that with, I don't question it. I just move on. And I have made very, very good relationship with other vendors that I do purchase from. So trust your inner feelings about purchasing crystals. And do that with everything, for goodness sakes. Trust your intuition on everything, because it's always right. It's always right. That's a whole nother conversation. But when you're purchasing crystals out there, if you're at a gem show, if you're doing it online, or if you're doing it, I don't know, wherever, at a super or a store, feel the energy in the space. Feel the energy of those who sell it, and trust your inner self on that. All frequencies, yes, all frequencies. Carol, you're beginning to get fed up with medicine. I was in that state. That's what changed my whole path. Yep. And there's a lot of people that get to that point. You get fed up with the whole modern medicine cycle. Of course, I can't advise you to stop seeing your doctor, and I won't advise you to do that. But you have to do what's right for you, and you have to follow what's right for yourself. Some medicines I do believe are necessary at times. In certain situations. You just have to follow your own path with that. Follow your own path. Yes, Jenny, sorry, my voice. They are complementary to other healing practices along with energy healing. Yes, they complement, absolutely. Crystals complement all kinds of other modalities. Energy healing, it complements sound, it complements color, it complements oils, it complements so much, because it's just all, like you said, Paula, it's all frequencies. It's all connected. They're all connected, and they all have energy, and they all talk to each other in their own language. So. Shelley, you love them in the room when I'm doing Reiki. Yes. Oh, my goodness. And that's what I love to meditate with crystals so much, because the feeling of it feels so good. Meditating with crystals feels so good to me. It's just so refreshing. It's just so energizing. It's so clearing. It's just, energy feels so good. I can't say that enough. You've got to meditate with your crystals if you don't already. many healers are drawn to them can mean that they are also many healers coming about. There are more and more healers coming out as well. I've noticed that as well too. There are more people getting into the healing arts, the alternative healing arts, and exploring different modalities and combining different modalities and learning. So I think it's wonderful. I think that's all part of this whole awareness as well. Elaine, you've seen crystals on Home Shopping Club. I think it's kind of sad. It's just that, yeah, those ones are just there for money. Absolutely. And now there are the vendors that make it to sell just for money. And then there are vendors who are truly into the knowledge of the background or the knowledge of the use or the awareness of the use, or can actually tell you, oh, you might need this. Or, you know, there are some that are really, really into the crystal world and love it. And then there are those that are just into the money. And I'm sure you can tell the difference too. So again, that's up to you where you purchase it, of crystals, of course. But yeah, the big box store is really kind of like, wow. I thought, that's very interesting. I don't know. So yeah. Carol, you heard shungite will be harder to obtain. That's probably true. The elite is harder to get as far as it is right now. The elite or noble is the more pure. Yeah. I think when I go to Tucson, I'm going to keep my ears and eyes open and see if we need to revisit this topic again when I get back. Because that's where I hear a lot of, excuse me, a lot of this kind of information. Is you hear a lot of this rumors when you're out there, and you don't know, I don't know. Again, you have to think about who to trust, who's just saying it, who really knows for sure, who's really there and knows for sure. So we will need them to protect us from the EMFs. That's true. That's so true, because we are, oh my gosh, the EMFs are consuming our lives, and it's everywhere, and it's just overpowering. That's a really good point, Paula. We do need the crystals to keep us realigned with pure energies, and the other energy balancings too, the other energies, modalities. Yeah, the EMFs are amplifying at a tremendous rate, and it's something to really be aware of. So keep your grounding crystals with you, and you might need to get more and more as your environment has more and more EMFs in your immediate environment. So, Cindy, be very careful about buying crystals from box stores, etc. Yeah. Lisa, what you love about crystals is it's natural, and you buy once and recharge in the sun, and it's over and over. Yes, it never loses its, that's a great point too. It never loses its energy. It never loses it. It might need to be cleansed and cleared, but it's always there. So that's a great point. Yeah. Oh, Shelley, thank you. I try to keep things very reasonable as far as the sales go. I really do. Because I've purchased many at high retail, and I've seen the big, huge markup. I try to keep it reasonable and keep it to where I can continue to do so. Yeah. That's so true. Diane, so many celebrities are using them and influencing people who would not otherwise be interested in crystals. I've seen a lot of celebrities wear crystals, beads, or bracelets, or beaded necklaces now. I've also seen celebrities, oh, we've got a bee, we've got a little bee here. Oh my goodness. Abundance, community. The bee loves to come see me when I chat out here. But I've also seen celebrities try to market them too with their name. So I find that very kind of, I don't know. I've seen some celebrities put a huge markup, huge markup on that, and just attach their name to a crystal. and sell them like that. So I don't know, that kind of rubs me wrong a little bit. But I have seen celebrities use them, and I do know that some celebrities are really into the alternative type stuff. So I think that has probably helped bring awareness to some of it to some extent. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Karen, about your son was there while I was talking about clear quartz. He found a sacred spot in the park while he was there. It started to turn dark gray. Wow, interesting, very interesting. Crystals can transform. They can change color. These can change color, different colors with use. Amethysts can fade. There are some amethysts I know some of our friends are using that are turning darker. That's very different than I've heard. There are some other crystals, K2 jaspers, that will change color. There's some others that I can't think of at the moment, but they will change color with use. Some of them will. Some of them will heal themselves from where they were cut. Some of them will continue to grow. I have friends that have witnessed this, that I believe this to be true from these people that said this, that they have some crystals that continue to grow. So if you have some very unique quartz crystals that display the properties that they will self-heal, pay attention to them and watch them. You know, check every 6 months and see if it's changed, if it's grown any areas or self-healed in any areas. So. Oh, Mary Beale, interesting. In Trinidad and Tobago, you've seen a lot of people going into crystal collecting. Very interesting. That's a great, thank you for contributing to that from like a different perspective, from a different area, location around the world. I'm curious to know if anybody else here from different locations around the world have noticed a change in their culture as well. Yes, Rosie. Spiritual feelings you can get from the crystals, absolutely. It can open up a whole new spiritual world for you. Crystals can open a whole new spiritual world for you. It's truly a remarkable experience. Yeah. Melanie, I did a video on fakes in my private group, those of you who are in my class. I might touch a little bit on it. It's a huge topic and it's very involved. I might touch a little bit on it again sometime in one of these videos. If you have a crystal that you are questioning, you can go on YouTube and see how to determine if it's fake or not. Some of the more widely faked ones are turquoise, amber, let's see here, moldavite right now. The more easily obtainable crystals are not typically faked because they're very widespread. They're easy to get. They're cheap. Like your quartz, your amethyst, smoky quartz, that kind of thing, probably are not faked as much unless they dye it. That's just man-altered. That's a whole nother conversation as well. So check on YouTube. There's a lot of good resources on there to determine if you have one that you're questioning specifically, because there's different tests you can do for different types of crystals. They're not all the same. It's not all the same for each one. There's different types of things you can do to check for different crystals to see if they're fake or not. A Cryon channel you heard said that we can integrate the power of crystals with our own energy and really don't even have to have them on us to physically receive the healing. That's true. I do intention healings with distance healings with crystals and Reiki energy and angel energy, and the person does not have to have crystals on them or with them at that time. That's true. It can work like that. Leslie, you're fed up with medicine as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Lisa, 35 pills daily, shots daily. Oh my goodness, bless your heart. Sending you love and light. That's a lot. Yeah. Sherry, you just got your crystal box. Crystals are living beings. They are living beings. They continue to help us too on our journey with whatever we need. And I think we gravitate towards crystals with what we need. So I think really pay attention to your crystal culture around you in your area. Pay attention to what's happening in the media with it, and pay attention to the vendors, and pay attention to the stores, and pay attention to the prices if they rise or not. Pay attention to those things that might be harder to get or not. I think we probably will hit this kind of discussion again in the future, because I think it's kind of good to kind of be aware of what's going on with it. I think it's important to be aware with what's going on with it. So, let's see here. Mary, looking for a good book on crystals, healing, and essential oils. Can you please recommend 2 books for you? Essential oils. I do have a book that I have, like, it's kind of a remedy kind of book, and I can attach the names of those when I'm finished. Yeah. Oh, Rosie, that cough or whatever, that is a long-term throat chakra issue that I have had for most of my life, and it's probably in the 90% healed, but I still have issues with it from time to time. And yeah, I had my throat chakra was closed off when I was probably, I think, at 5 years old, until I was in my 40s. So it was many, many, many years of neglect of that area. And that can cause wide distress. You know, if it takes many years to make yourself ill, which I did, it can take several years to heal it, which it's almost completely healed. So it's an ongoing thing in that space, ongoing thing. Mines closing, mines, yes, mines. I think many more mines are opening, Naisha. Yes, mines, crystal mines, M-I-N-E, closing. But you know what? Keep in mind also that they are finding new pockets of new crystals and new minerals all the time as well. There's 3,000 to 4,000 different types of crystal mineral rocks that are all combined in that whole little category. And they're finding new ones. Some are closing, yes, for sure. There's some that are closing. Some are being opened with new mineral. And that will be exciting when new things come your way, you know. It's like, oh. And I think it's all in this divine timing, too. I think the ones that we are just now discovering are going to be coming our way as we need them. So. Yes, Carol, you can completely let go of all medicines, but when a doctor doesn't listen to a patient, that's wrong. It's unfortunate that that has happened. I've noticed that in the medical community too. I used to work in the medical community many years ago, and I saw that huge decline begin probably, I don't know, 20 years ago maybe now. And now it's just crazy when you go see a doctor. It's like they don't even look at you. They don't even look into your eyes. It's like they don't even acknowledge that you're talking to you, unless you can find one. You know, there are doctors out there that will, but I don't know. It's very unfortunate what has happened to that culture, the medical culture. So, natural made doesn't get any better than that. Natural made. Bigger stones, Lisa, the bigger stones have more energy to them, yes. But it varies too. Some energies, there's some higher vibration crystals, which I don't have any out here today, have more energy packed into a smaller crystal next to a big crystal that might not have as much energy. But the bigger the crystal, the more energy though too. That would be a good topic as well. I might have to discuss that a little bit. Okay, so I'll catch up with some of your comments here in just a bit again. But I wanted to talk about two crystals in particular. That's kind of wrapping up that discussion. But thank you for your thoughts and your comments on it. But just be aware. That's it. Just be aware. But I wanted to bring out two crystals that I wanted to talk about. The Power 101 book from Judy Hall. We haven't done this in quite some time, and I wanted to bring it back because we've learned some deep information with some of these. And today I chose aragonite because I know a lot of you got an aragonite recently, and she has a lot of information about this, and I wanted to share it with you. So let me see what she's got to say about this. Let's see here. Working with aragonite reminds us that the earth is a living being with whom we must have synergy, harmony. We must be in harmony with the earth's energies, so to speak. The stone links you to earth's grid and facilitates the planet's own ascension into expanded dimensions, teaching the interconnectedness of all life. So this is an amazing, amazing crystal with that itself. It facilitates the planet's own ascension into expanded dimensions, teaching the interconnectedness of all life. It's an excellent soul healer. Let's see here, very warming. It's said to warm you on the physical level, like holding it, to warm you up. I need to work with it with that. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. Positioned over an appropriate spot, it suggests that it balances overactive and reduces joint pain, eases muscle spasm, cramps, and night twitches, restores circulations to fingers and toes, and those with Raynaud's syndrome. And I used to have Raynaud's syndrome, so I find that very interesting. Place on the base chakra, which is at the base of the spine, to balance the chakra and align them to flow to a higher energy. It stabilizes the base chakra and grounds the soul comfortably in the physical body. It takes you back into childhood to find the source of anxiety or disease, and the stone's vibration can convey you past lives to heal what you need to heal to move forward. So she suggests place this, let's see here. She says, place the brown star aragonite on the earth or on a map to facilitate earth healing in specific areas, especially where geopathic stress has disturbed the earth's grid. Isn't that amazing? So I think, Paula, this will probably help with all of that as well. So all of the things that we have brought into this, with all the EMFs and all of the harmful energies that we have created, I think this will help the Earth's healing, in a sense, as well as facilitate our own connection to our ascension with it. Amazing, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I know a lot of you have gotten these recently, so now you know. Place it on a specific place on the Earth's grid on a map and have that intention to heal that area and send healing to that area. Or if you have it in your space, you have a lot of that kind of energy in your space, get it out and work with it. So, yeah. I do have some of those, so if anybody wants to purchase those, just message me later. Yeah, it is a powerhouse, it is. Okay, so the other one I wanted to talk about is black tourmaline. I think this is very fitting. I didn't particularly go looking for two that, in a sense, are very good for balancing and reducing kind of negative energies around the earth, but this is how it worked today. So, tourmaline is found in many colors. Of course, black is the most prominent color, and it is one of the most very effective earth healers and balancing and reducing of negative energies. It is very effective for reducing negative energies. Black tourmaline contains iron, making it powerfully protective. Due to its inner structure, however, tourmaline traps negative energies within it rather than bouncing it back and forth. So it absorbs it. Use it in a grid around your home to create a protective shield that blocks negative energies or toxic energies of any kind. And I talk about that in my course as well. Put black tourmaline at the four corners of your home. There's a really loud car going by. I don't know how you could stand that. Or if you have a very toxic area in your home, place this next to your electronics. You can do that safely. And the bee is here to give us a lot of abundance and love and community support. Black tourmaline protects the body against electromagnetic stress, negative and psychic attacks. It can harmonize the brain and repattern neutral pathways, and such as dyslexia, or I don't even know what that is. Dyspraxia. I don't know what that is. Realigning the spinal column, black tourmaline energetically stimulates the immune system and the thyroid gland to relieve pain, arthritic swelling. Hold this stone over the site. To instantly stop jealousy, ill will, or all psychic attacks, wear black tourmaline over your thymus gland. The stone safely diffuses the attack. Black tourmaline is it's probably my number one must-have of all crystal collections. And it is very effective. You can put it next to your electronics without it harming your electronics. You can, I demonstrate how to use that in my course as well. How it affects electronics and how it won't, how it diffuses the EMFs that it puts into the atmosphere. Tourmaline, when I'm feeling kind of sluggish and just kind of out of sorts, this is a great crystal to hold on to and to just hold in your space. Just hold on to it for a while. There are times when I hold this big chunk in my pocket to ground myself. If you go into those big box stores with all that fluorescent lighting and all that crazy energy, carry a piece of black tourmaline with you. If you're going into a place with a lot of electronics, keep some black tourmaline with you. I keep one in my car. I keep one next to my microwave to diffuse that energy. I keep one next to my computer. I have a black tourmaline grid around my home. When I had new flooring put in, I put in black tourmaline around that area so it absorbed any kind of chemicals that the flooring might have given off. Use black tourmaline for most anything. It is probably my number one most must-have crystal. So, yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome must-have. One of your favorites, Brenda. Yes, Turkasha, Lorianne. Let's see here. Tammy, both your orders are sitting at customs. I know international orders are crazy. I don't know why it takes so long, but I've also have heard though recently too. Back to our first topic about the crystal awareness. When I went to Quartzsite 2 weeks ago to get some of the Ron Coleman stuff, I also picked up some apophyllite from somebody who gets it directly from India. And he said that they ship over their crystals here to sell, and they have to mark exactly what is in each container now. It used to could just be like a apophyllite crate. Now they have to list every specific crystal that is within those crystals before they can get it shipped over here. And some of those ones get hung up or caught up in customs. So customs is really checking over the crystals that are coming in and out of the countries. So I find that very interesting. That's something to kind of keep an eye on as well. I'm not sure if it will affect, I don't know how that will affect crystal sales or crystal, how you can obtain crystals in the future. But I found that very interesting. And it seems as though those ones that I send out of the country are taking longer and longer to get there than before. And that might be part of the customs awareness, that they are really checking things over. And I'm not sure the reasoning as to why. Maybe there's certain minerals they don't want in their country. Well, of course, some of them, some minerals are very, very toxic. So maybe that they're just really being careful and checking that. I don't know. I have more thinking to do on that one. So, safety reasons. Yes, double checking what's on the manifests. That's probably true too, because who knows, who's shipping what. And JJ, no, he's trying to catch the bee. That wouldn't be good for either one of them. So that's something to kind of keep your eyes and ears open for as well. I find it very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So I'm going to pull a card from the Namaste deck today for a final message before we wrap it up here. Thanks for this chat, this crystal awareness chat today. I've been wanting to do this topic for a while, and it's finally to the point of where I could do that. And then I've got a couple other things to tell you in just a moment here too. So I wanted to pull a card from the Namaste deck. These are very positive cards. Okay, and here's one that just popped up at me. So this is a message for the group today. This is a blessing through emotional upheaval. That's interesting. An emotional storm. Let me show you the color, the beautiful artwork here. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason, and all involved will benefit. Very beautiful card, very beautiful message. I know it's backwards, but I just wanted to show you that. Very beautiful message. I know sometimes it's very difficult to look past the emotions when you're in emotional exchange with somebody, maybe anger or sadness or disagreement of some sort. But there are lessons in everything. There are lessons in everything. And usually after the storm subsides, that's when you can kind of think clearly. Your emotions are not being the guiding factor anymore. That's when you can really see the lessons and why you had to go through what it is that you went through, and see it on a deeper level. So beautiful card, beautiful card. One last thing, please share this. I didn't say that at the beginning. Please share this broadcast, because I have one calendar left, one crystal calendar left of my crystals that I created here. And I will choose one person at random who shared this out to others. Sharing it to my group does not count. Share it to groups that allow it, and share it to your page if you would like to be entered to win this calendar, 2019 calendar. My last one available. If you'd like to purchase it, I can put the link here for you. But that's my last one to give away. So yes, I will post the winner. I will go pick at random, do the random number picker. And I will post the winner here at the end after I'm finished here. And we will notify the person who wins it, and I will just send it off to that person. And I believe all these little prizes I do when I do these go to who they need to have them when they need to have them. So yes. we will see who gets it today. A couple things coming up. We have this Thursday, Crystal Sale Day. So if you are interested in purchasing crystals and would like to do that, please join us 11 o'clock Pacific time. Next week, things are going to change a little bit. Next week, it will be on Monday, and I'll remind you that on Thursday as well. Because the following week, next week, I'm leaving to San Antonio for a few days. And I'm going to do a show while I'm there, at least one, maybe two. So this week we have Crystal Sale Day on Thursday, and then it will be on next Monday again also for that week. And then we will have another little alteration schedule when I return, and because I'll be going to Tucson at the very beginning of February. Those of you who are in the San Antonio area, I would love to set up a time to meet you in person if you're available. I'll be there from the 17th through the 22nd, I believe. And then the Tucson area, if you are in that area, I would love to... JJ, that's not a good idea. He's still trying to get the B. And those of you who are in the Tucson area, I would love to meet you. I'll be there, I think, from the 31st through about the 4th. I got to check the dates for sure, but that's something in those lines. So thank you all. Thank you all so much for this awesome discussion today. Keep your awareness up with your crystals, and I believe that they will hold and maintain their value, and I believe that someday they will go up in value. So I think that it's not only a healing part of us, but it's also kind of an investment of sorts, investment of your own healing. So, but yeah, keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll have more discussion on this maybe after I get back from Tucson to see if I hear any more about any of these things that are coming along. So thank you all. I will see you soon. Have a great, wonderful week this week. And I hope to see you Thursday. Okay? All right. Talk to you soon. Crystal blessings. I'll post the winner in just about 15 minutes. Okay? All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Namaste.